Welcome back to Around the Bend. My name is Andrew, and this is Lisa, and we're two adventurers who decided to make big life changes. We moved out of our Colorado home and into our home on wheels, Lake House, to travel the country with our crazy dog Neela. Around the Bend represents the second half of our lives, and the exciting new adventures that come from living our lives differently than we did in the first half. We're treating midlife as an opportunity, not a crisis. The second half is a wide open canvas, and there's a path of discovery ahead. Our prior video covered the first week on the road. This video will touch on several additional stops on our way to South Padre Island, plus lessons learned being on the road now for 2 weeks. Stay tuned as we continue to share our path of discovery. After spending 3 nights in Palo Duro Canyon State Park, we hitched up Lake House to the truck, loaded the dog, and continued south 230 miles to Lake Colorado City State Park. The locals pronounce it Colorado City, which is unique, a small cattle town with less than 4,000 residents. We're excited for this destination because we predicted the weather would be warm, the lake would be calm, all of which would be perfect for paddleboarding and fishing. However,
it's cold.
Here we are at Colorado, Lake Colorado. Okay, start over. Here we are at Lake Colorado City State Park, which this is our pursuit to chase warm weather and warm water.
And we're freezing.
And it's cold. Another day of cold weather. I think it's probably just maybe 40 degrees, but the wind is blowing. And we decided to take the dog out for a walk just to get outside today. But maybe we'll get a nice sunset. Hopefully we'll get some good photos of a sunset starting to set out west, wherever it is. There it is. But here we are. I guess we leave tomorrow and continue south, hoping
Thank goodness.
to get to some warm weather.
Yeah, I need a tan.
Tan would be nice.
And no jackets.
Yeah.
And a tank top.
Inflate the paddle boards, get on the bikes again. So it's happening. Beyond the cold temps, lake access had been closed since August due to an algae bloom, prohibiting boating, fishing, and wading in the lake. So we spent our time in Colorado City creating our first YouTube vlog, Southbound, week 1, visiting the local grocery store to restock on supplies and enjoy pizza at the only open restaurant in town, Big's Pizza, which offered really friendly service and delicious pizza. After 2 nights, we again hitched up and continued south, 249 miles to Vanderpool, Texas, where we booked 1 night at a winery located in the hills or mountains of western Texas. The landscapes of Texas changed as we approached this destination. It went from flat cotton fields and oil production areas to rolling mountain terrain, rivers, and trees that shadowed the area. Besides Canyon, Texas, this was the most scenic section of Texas yet. The owner of Lost Maples Winery greeted us at the gate when we arrived. Over a glass of wine, he proceeded to share his story about being a U.S. veteran, served as a police officer, then found his peace creating fine wines. Chris was extremely accommodating and a great conversationalist, plus the wines he produced are tasty. In case you search for this small gem in the future, Chris is in the process of changing the name to Sabinal River Winery, a must visit if you're in the area. 243 miles further south, we found ourselves at Boykin Farms, a pecan farm owned by Larry and his wife of 50 years. After getting the trailer set up, the Boykin family invited us into their home for coffee and conversation. He's a second-generation farmer who was just born 20 yards from where we parked Lake House for the night. The small home is still standing with others, more modern homes scattered across the property. He shared stories of traveling, about harvesting, buying and selling produce his whole life. Once distributed to regional grocery stores, Larry now only harvests and packages pecans for Harvest Host guests. Here's a 5-pound bag that we purchased in gratitude for a place to stay and for Boykin's hospitality. We spent the evening getting to know others who were staying on the property, new friends who are on their own journey and path of discovery. 12 nights, 1,325 miles in total, we finally arrived in South Padre Island, and the warm weather greeted with temps in the 70s. Our final destination for the next month allowed us to strip from long pants and sweatshirts into shorts and flip-flops. This place will allow us to settle in this new pace of life and new routines. Stay tuned for our next video on our adventures on the island. We wanted to share 6 lessons that we've learned so far being on the road. It's only been a couple of weeks and we're still very new at this, but this is what we've learned so far. You don't need as much as you think you do. 2 weeks in and we haven't touched most of the items we brought. We posted a blog titled The Purge, and although we let go of most of our things, we're pretty sure we still have too much on board. Taking things for granted is the second thing we've learned so far. Living in a travel trailer provides a unique sense of resources and utilization. When boondocking or parked for days without grid power or water, better awareness of resources like water and power become a priority. We consumed about 60 gallons of water total over the past couple weeks. We're back at home, our water bill reached 5,000 gallons per month. It feels pretty good being more conservative. The next thing we learned is getting away from vacation mode. This is our lifestyle, not our vacation. We had to establish the mindset that this living arrangement is semi-permanent. Our decisions and habits or routines could vastly impact our lifestyle if we continue with the mindset of being on vacation. Next thing, reconnecting. This new lifestyle has allowed us to reconnect on another level. Although it's been a couple of weeks, we now have the time and energy to pour into each other. Next thing is being flexible. Things change really quickly on the road, and being flexible helps navigate around those unexpected events, delays, things breaking, unexpected weather, etc. You learn very quickly not to be married to your plans because they can change in an instant. And then everything has its place. Living in a small space can get cluttered and messy quickly. With such limited surface area, our motto, while straightening up 17 times a day, is everything has its place, which has worked out great for us. As we adjust to this new lifestyle, we have learned that everything we have has purpose or brings joy, and if not, its place comes into question quickly. Guess what?
What?
So I called the KOA,
Yeah.
and they can get us in a day early, so we're going to South Padre today. That's the attitude. Woo!